What's going on, everybody? I am back to break down this two-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings and FanDuel after nailing it last night on another lock of the night. Hopefully you played some Jimmy Butler. Talked about really liking him at that price tag decrease, dipping down. No Kyle Lowry. You went out there and put up a triple-double. So I think you would have been very satisfied if you went with him at an 8-9 price tag, 51.5 DraftKings points over there on FanDuel. Would have put up a great score for you as well. So hopefully you locked that in. And if you didn't and you're new to the channel, don't worry. Stay tuned to the end, and I will give you my lock of the night tonight. We only have a two-game slate, so not exactly the most packed slate, but we're still going to break it down. We're going to talk about some game theory. There are different ways to get different, and we will discuss that as we go along. So if you do enjoy the content, if you feel like I provide you with any value throughout this video, if you could please take a second to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you're getting really serious about NBA DFS, I do offer an NBA DFS premium package. You can check that out, link below in the description, KJK, patreon.com/KJK_DFS. You get access to the KJK DFS NBA package where you get premium NBA projections, NBA data sheet, player stats, team stats, play context stats, score plays, all of that fun stuff. You can also hop in the Discord package for only $1 all of January, typically a $10 value, so check that out, guys. And lastly, check out Parlay Play, sponsor of the program here. Head over there, use that promo code KJK003, or once again, the link down below in the description, and you will get an instant match deposit up to $50. You can also receive a risk-free $10 when you sign up over there today to start your bankroll out with. So, check them out, guys, and with all that being said, let's talk about it. It's two-gamer. It's not the craziest slate in the world, but it's something, so let's break it down. Minnesota taking on the New York Knicks is the first game on the slate. This game comes in with a 212.5 over-under. 2-point spread in favor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the fact that it's expected to stay close might be enough to warrant getting quite a bit of exposure to it, considering the other game with a 15-point spread here. So that's the first place that we could start. And we have some very heavy, dominant usage guys. Who are those guys? On the Minnesota side, we have Karl-Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards. Those three going to be some of the top pay-up options on this slate tonight as far as I'm concerned. Again, it's expected to stay close. All the usage goes through them, especially D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Edwards price in that mid-AK range. Raw points do matter on a two-game slate. If Anthony Edwards goes out there and scores you 17 DraftKings points tonight at an 8.6 price tag, you are going to be in some trouble because raw points are seriously going to matter. I don't think that's going to happen again, though. I think he's going to be able to produce at a pretty high rate here against this New York Knicks squad. And, of course, Karl-Anthony Towns at the center position is going to be a viable pay-up. Now, there are some interesting cheapies in this game as well that we'll talk about for only a two-game slate. Jaden McDaniels at 3.5. I've got a projector for right around 24 minutes. Does put up approximately 0.69 DK points per minute on the season. Once again, if it was a huge slate, wouldn't even be entertaining playing this guy, but on such a small one, don't hate going to him. We have some other guys. Emmanuel quickly off the bench for the New York Knicks. Obi Toppin, 4K and 3.1 for those guys. Getting a decent allotment of minutes, especially if there is no Kemba Walker again for Emmanuel quickly. Consistently seeing, 20. Last time he saw 29 minutes and put up 29 DraftKings points. So at 4K, got him projected for right around 20 minutes. I think that makes him a viable tournament play. And Obi Toppin, who we talked about at 3.1, playing around 15 minutes a game. Once again, if this was a larger slate, an Obi Toppin at 3.1 playing around 15 minutes would not be someone I'd be willing to go to. However, on such a small slate, 15 minutes, he's putting up 0.96 DK points per minute. He could grade out as a decent value play to be getting some studs into your lineup. So I'm willing to take some risks there. And those are some of the guys we look at. You can also be looking to a Todd Gibson, who's only 3K in this game. So surprisingly, the Knicks are offering some of the best value on the slate, it seems, just because they have some of these guys that are so cheap that do come off the bench and, rack up 15 to 20 minutes. Josh Gibson puts up 0.68 DK points per minute. Got him projected for right around 15, 16, 17 minutes. If he does go out there and put up, 20 DraftKings points at 3K, that's going to be a big deal in a two-game slate. So those are some guys that I would be looking to from a value aspect on the New York Knicks. Running it back with them as far as the top usage guys, it's pretty simple. It's Julius Randle, it's RJ Barrett, it's Alec Burks. Those are the three guys you're looking to. Julius Randle's price tag continues to come down. His production has taken a big hit this season. Really has not been having the biggest of games. But against this Minnesota Timberwolves squad, in a game that's expected to stay close, like I said, we only are dealing with a two-game slate. Might make sense to be getting some exposure there. My favorite plays on the New York Knicks side, my favorite play by far is going to be RJ Barrett. His production and usage has just gone way up as of late. 34, 43, 44, 39, 44 DraftKings points. Seems to really be shifting into a different gear here. And the production's been way up. The usage has been went up 18 shots, 20 shots, 22 shots, 20 shots, 21 shots. So RJ Barrett really being aggressive out there for that reason. I think it makes a lot of sense to be targeting him. He would be my favorite option on the New York Knicks for his price tag. Some other guys we could look to in the mid-range in this game would be a Malik Beasley, a Mitchell Robinson, a Patrick Beverley. Mid-20s minutes for Patrick Beverley, Malik Beasley if he gets hot. Patrick Beverley at 5'5", same thing, mid-20s. He can get up to the 30-minute mark if you want to go there. Mitchell Robinson at 5'4", a bit of a versatile play. Sometimes, he's put up 37, 38, 33. Last time, 21. Before that, he was really struggling to do anything. 15, 18. So, once again, a high upside play that I'm willing to take a risk on here. So, overall, yeah, those are the guys I'm looking to. Those are the guys that we just reviewed that are looking the best. RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson definitely look the best on upside at their price tag aspect for me on the New York Knicks side of things here. Next game on the slate, we have Detroit taking on the Golden State Warriors, and this is where we're going to talk about some game theory here because this game is expected to blow out. It's a 15-point spread in favor of the Golden State Warriors. We know the Pistons are bad. We know the Warriors are good. So for all those reasons, I would be anticipating a blowout tonight. And what does that mean? That means we can get a little creative with our lineups and figure out who are we going to be looking to in a blowout on both sides. That also means playing a Stephen Curry at 10-6, probably a little bit scary here. Could Stephen Curry just be the one that absolutely goes off here and cause the blowout? Yes. Am I a little bit scared to be paying 10-6 for Stephen Curry and what's expected to be a blowout when I can go to, for instance, a Karl-Anthony Towns in a game that's expected to stay close? A Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards, a D'Angelo Russell? Yes, I am. It's just a very large price tag. It's a big part of your lineup. Once again, raw points do matter, but could I see Steph Curry just going out there and putting up, 35 DraftKings points, playing a pretty solid game throughout, and then getting pulled because it's a blowout? Yes, I could. So for that reason, it's a little bit scary. You really need him to go out there and put up 40, 50. 40's still not good enough. Not even close, really. You would tend to think that D'Angelo Russell, Karl-Anthony Towns, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, all those guys would be in that price range. So you're really looking for at least 50 plus out of Stephen. And I just don't see that happening. I expect this game to blow out. So it's a little bit scary for me to be going to him. That might be the case for a lot of people, though. Maybe he comes in a lot lower owned on this slate than he should. But I just don't think that's the case. I think that people are going to want to jam his name in there because, name value, Stephen Curry. Everyone knows Stephen Curry. It's a 2-game slate. I think his ownership comes in decently high here. Cade Cunningham on the Detroit side is obviously going to be the top option. Running it back, point guard, lots of usage on the Detroit side of things. If the game stays close, it's going to be because he's having a big game. So if you're getting exposure to Steph, it certainly makes sense to run it back on the other side here with a Cade Cunningham. You could also be looking at some secondary usage guys in a Saddiq Bey and a Hamidou Diallo. Once again, if the game stays close, it's going to be the Saddiq Bey, the Cade Cunningham show. And I do think that Diallo would obviously be pitching in quite a bit as well from a usage aspect there. So, those are the guys you're looking to if you want to play the narrative that this game stays close. What I'm interested in is if it doesn't. The other thing I want to mention here is Klay Thompson at 5'5". I have been getting questions on my streams and my videos every single day on, can I play Klay Thompson? Can I play Klay Thompson? And my answer has been no, 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 because he's only playing around 20 minutes. His minutes are limited, and they've been huge slates. Now, if there was ever a time where you could play Klay Thompson, it would be tonight because it's only a 2-game slate. People probably will have that same approach, you would hope. His price tag has come down now from 6'1" to 5'5", and he is a guy that's capable of going out there and, getting hot, maybe hitting 10 threes out of nowhere at a 5'5" price tag, and if he does, you're going to be very, very happy with that production. So, this is a slate where you take a chance on Klay Thompson. If you've been wanting to play him, this is the one you can do so. It's only a 2-game slate. It's a way to get different if people aren't going to be playing him on his limited minutes, which they really shouldn't be overall. But it's possible that he does get hot, and it could make you propel to the top of leaderboards on only a 2-game slate. So for those of you that have been wanting to play Klay Thompson, this would be the slate where I'd give you the chance to do so. It is a high risk thing, but you have to do some high risk stuff on a 2-game slate to get different. This would be the one where I would give you the go to do that. Gary Payton listed as questionable. Frank Jackson listed as questionable on the Detroit side. So those are some relevant pieces of news if those guys are back. Obviously going to cut into the rotation a little bit here. But guys that I'm going to be looking to in a blowout is where this gets interesting. So first of all, Killian Hayes at 3'8". He's a starter. You could certainly be going to him in a tournament. Only a 3'8" price tag, playing around mid-20s to upper 20s in minutes. That's a very, very friendly price tag for a guy that's a starter. So he's someone that certainly is going to grade out as a phenomenal value play for me on this slate tonight. I also do like Isaiah Stewart at 4'6". That's a very respectable price tag for him. A guy that's consistently playing, right around the mid-20s in minutes and does put up 0.88 DK points per minute. Once again, less than ideal, a little bit risky, but at the price tag on a 2-game slate, does grade out as a pretty decent value for me, and certainly someone that could pay off for you in your tournament lineups. Josh Jackson at 3-6 off the bench here is someone that I want to talk about. So if this game turns into a blowout, you have to ask yourself who's going to get the blowout run. And I think Josh Jackson could be a great candidate for that. Looking at his price tag right now, he comes in at 3-6 for the Detroit side. That's a really cheap price tag for a guy that puts up 0.85 DK points per minute. I've got him projected for right around 17 minutes right now. Obviously, if he only plays 17 minutes at a 3-6 price tag, he might not get you there. But even when he has played these limited minutes, I mean, he's played up to 24, 29, 21 in these blowouts here. They've been in a lot of blowouts, 22, 21, 20 DraftKings points. His price tag's 3-6. I really think he's an intriguing option to be running out there if this game turns into a blowout, which, like I said, I'm anticipating that it does. And for that reason, I'm going to be trying to get some punt plays in here. So he's one of them. On the Golden State Warriors side, I think Juan Toscano-Anderson, Damian Lee, Bjelica are all pretty interesting options at their respective price tags. These guys, I mean, regardless of whether it's a blowout, they're coming in at 3-2, 3-5, 3-6. Just really easy to be jamming these guys in your lineups. They're all pretty good fantasy point producers, and they're getting enough minutes to where it's valid. They're all going to play, 10, 15 minutes or so. 1.03 DK points per minute for Bjelica, 0.74 DK points per minute for Damian Lee, 0.83 fantasy points per minute for Juan Toscano-Anderson. So it makes sense to be taking punts on these guys. Once again, you need it to turn into a blowout. You need these guys to get runs. And you don't really know who's going to be in the game in a blowout. You can take your best risk. We don't really know. Moses Moody at 3K could possibly be a guy you're looking to in a blowout. Maybe he's interesting at only a 3K price tag. Pulling up the Golden State Warriors roster. Let's see how much fantasy points per minute these guys are putting up. Let's see. Moses Moody putting up 0.63 DK points per minute, so that's less than ideal, obviously, but he's minimum salary if he gets run in a blowout. And then we talked about it. Juan Toscano-Anderson, 0.83. Damian Lee, 0.74. Bjelica, 1.03. I think Jonathan Kuminga is a really good option to be going to as well at 4-3. I feel like he's someone that they're really trying to develop here. He's been playing very well, and if the game does turn into a blowout, I think they just give him the run. It's kind of one of those things where he's on the verge of a breakthrough here. Why not give him some run? Last time out in a blowout, 33 minutes, 28 DraftKings points. The time before, 42 DraftKings points. Time before, 26. Time before, 23. His price tag isn't quite as friendly as these other guys we talked about, but maybe that keeps his ownership lower. And he's shown he has the upside to go out there and put up 42 DraftKings points in a blowout against a Chicago team where he only saw 26 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, I really think I'm going to be trying to target this game from a blowout. And then you have to ask yourself, who are you going to on the other side? We talked about Josh Jackson. Another guy that I think is interesting in a blowout is going to be Saben Lee. Saben Lee comes in at 3-4. Very good fantasy point producer, putting up 0.98 DK points per minute. And once again, if this game turns into a blowout, Saben Lee, a young guy they're trying to develop, I think they just roll him out there for a lot of minutes. And at a 3-4 price tag, he could really crush here. I've got him projected for right around, 12 minutes right now if the game stays close. But if that bumps up to 25 minutes or so, that can easily be 25, 30, maybe DraftKings points from a guy that's only at 3-4. And, who knows where the ownership is going to be tonight. With all this stuff going on, we really don't know. So, yeah, that's an overall breakdown of the guys that I would be looking to on this slate. A couple guys that I missed here, just reviewing my sheets and stuff that I want to talk about. In the first game, another guy I'd be willing to take some plays on is a Naz Reid at 3-9. Very good fantasy point producer, cheap. He puts up 1.08 DK points per minute. Got him projected to play right around 15 minutes, 12, 13 minutes. But in that short period of time, last time out we saw him play 15 minutes. He put up 23 DraftKings points on a small slate. That could pay off for you. And another guy that I forgot to mention in that first game that I just want to mention real quick before we go is an Evan Fournier at 5-5. If there continues to be no Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier has shown that he does have a lot of upside in some of these games. He's put up 62 DraftKings points against Boston, 32, 24, 22, 13 last time out, but consistently playing right around 30 minutes, 5-5. That is a very, very friendly price tag. And he does grade out as a pretty phenomenal play for me on this slate today, and I think I skimmed over him, so I just want to run that back. So that's the overall breakdown on DraftKings. Looking over at FanDuel as well, talking about, obviously, it's only a 2-gamer. Once again, if there was ever a time to play Klay Thompson, this would be the slate to do so. He's 6K. Am I very high on Klay Thompson? No. Is he still limited? Yes. Would I play him if this wasn't a 2-game slate? Absolutely not. For those of you that have been asking me if you can play him, now is the time you can. So I just want to say, for all of you that have been really wanting to play him, you get a chance to. Once again, probably not the best play. Julius Randle over here at 8.4, once again, continues to be too cheap for me on FanDuel. You get 3 points for blocks and steals. I mean, overall, his price tag has just plummeted. It's come down on DraftKings as well, but especially on FanDuel. I mean, this is a really cheap price tag for a guy that easily has 50 fantasy point upside. Not saying he's easily going to get the 50 fantasy points, but he does easily have 50 points upside. It is there. 1.1 FanDuel points per minute. Certainly going to be making a lot of sense. D'Angelo Russell, another guy over here on FanDuel. They're making it very easy for you to want to lock in your lineups at 7.6. That's just a really cheap price tag. No issues with you getting some exposure there to a D'Angelo Russell at this 7.6 price tag. And certainly making a lot of sense to me there. Moving further along some guys. We've talked about a lot of these guys. Anthony Edwards at 8.1. Once again on FanDuel, price reasonably. Cade Cunningham is the guy that stands out over here. I mean, Cade Cunningham, 6K. Are you kidding me, FanDuel? They're not adjusting his price tag. He's a lock over here. 7.5 on DraftKings. You have to at least think about it. 6K. Don't even think about it. It's a 2-game slate. The guy has the most usage. I mean, the only thing that you could make an argument for is he's just going to get a ton of ownership on the slate tonight, which I guess is an argument within itself on a 2-game slate. Maybe it's we just fade him because that reason alone, and you hope he does bad. But that's all you're doing is you're hoping he does bad because on paper, the numbers and everything, this is a ridiculously too cheap price tag. They're making it too easy on you. Mitchell Robinson at 5.4. I talked about him on DraftKings, but on FanDuel specifically, you get the 3 points for the blocks and steals. Mitchell Robinson's an absolute block machine. So on FanDuel specifically, I'd be willing to take more of a risk and make him more of a priority. You only get to play one center at 5.4. I do think that's pretty intriguing. So I want to mention that. Some other guys we talked about. I mean, Josh Jackson at 3.8, Obi Toppin at 3.6. Once again, these guys are grading out as pretty decent value plays for me on a slate. Specifically, Josh Jackson. I talked about it. I want to be targeting this game as if it's going to turn into a blowout, getting different with my lineups, and targeting some guys that other people might not quite be on. So I think Josh Jackson. We talked about Saban Lee. A lot of these Knicks guys over here are grading out as top priorities for me with their price tags. RJ Barrett at 7.2, Alec Burks at 6.3, Emmanuel Quickley at 4.6. All grading out as pretty great plays here. Evan Fournier at 5.2. Once again, a game that's expected to stay close. All these Knicks guys playing a decent amount of minutes. That could be enough to just want to get a lot of exposure to them on the slate tonight. You can play 4 guys over here on FanDuel. Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, Mitchell Robinson. Those 5 guys, Emmanuel Quickley, those 6 guys. All grading out as pretty great plays for me. And you can go to an Obi Toppin at 3.6 as well. A little bit more difficult over here on FanDuel where you don't quite have the flexibility that you do on DraftKings with the roster construction. You're taking up a spot for a 3.6 guy that's probably only going to play around 15 minutes. A little bit scary for me, especially because the game's expected to stay close. I'd rather target some of those Detroit guys we talked about where the game's expected to not stay close, where they might see a little bit more run. But yeah, overall, I mean, Cade Cunningham, Steph Curry, D'Angelo Russell, Patrick Beverley, good for some steals over here. Emmanuel Quickley at 4.6. Then, like we talked about, Saban Lee at 3.7, Killian Hayes. Targeting them in a blowout does make a lot of sense to me. Shooting guard, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, RJ Barrett, the pay-up options. I mean, I'm guessing you got to get one of those guys in your lineups. Evan Fournier, we talked about. Taking a risk on maybe a Moses Moody at minimum salary. That feels a little bit ugly to me. So, Saddiq Bey at 6.1's price very recently over here, I would say. Kuminga at 5.1, we talked about targeting him in a blowout. That's pretty much the only way he's going to get there on FanDuel especially. So, maybe get him at some lower ownership because his price tag's come on way up. And yeah, overall, I think we did a pretty good job of summing up this slate tonight. We're feeling pretty good about it. We know our punt plays. We know the possible blowout run. So that is my overall breakdown of this 2-game slate. Before I let you guys go, it's only a 2-gamer, but I got to give you the lock of the night tradition on the channel. So with all of that being said, guys, before I do, don't forget to check out the premium content. Head over there to patreon.com/KJK_DFS. Link below in the description. Check it out. Check out the sponsor of the program, Parlay Play. Sign up today using that promo code KJK003, or once again, the link below in the description. You will receive an instant match deposit up to $50. You will also receive a risk-free $10 to play with tonight. So, all of that out of the way, guys. Lock of the night. Let's get into it. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be Julius Randle taking on this Minnesota squad. We talked about that Golden State Warriors game expected to turn into a blowout. Not a big priority for me to be paying up the guard position with a guy like a Stephen Curry on this slate. And we've seen Julius Randle's price tag continuously fall on both websites. on DraftKings. He's priced now at a 9.2 price tag. On FanDuel, priced at 8.4, putting up 1.1 FanDuel points per minute on the season, 1.17 DK points per minute on the season. Very good fantasy point producer in a game that's expected to stay close on only a 2-game slate. I think he slots in well to your lineups on both DraftKings and FanDuel. Get him in your lineups because he is my lock of the night. So there we go, guys. Julius Randle, get him in your lineups. And that is all from me in this one. If you did enjoy the content, if you could please take a second to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. And I think I'm going to go live tonight. Although it's only a 2-game slate, maybe just chat it up a little bit, have a little bit more of a fun hangout session tonight on the live stream. So if you want to see me go live, comment down below that you want to see me go live, comment your favorite picks. And overall, just comment anything. I'd really like to get the interaction up on this channel. So appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Wish you all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.